Good afternoon, students, and welcome to today's lecture where we take a spotlight on ancient Greek culture. I'm your professor, Dr. Rob Steffen, and today we are going to look at the role of athletics in the ancient Greek world. Now, athletics were a defining feature of ancient Greek culture, very closely tied to ideas of personal excellence, a term that we call in Greek arete. It was also tied to military training and religious devotion. Now, unlike modern sports, which often emphasize entertainment and professional careers, Greek athletics were deeply integrated into civic life, education, and even politics. Competitions like foot races, wrestling, and chariot racing were not just physical contests, but they were also displays of discipline, honor, and virtue. Olympia, the site of the most famous and prestigious athletic festival, provides the perfect backdrop for understanding Greek athletics. These games were dedicated to the god Zeus, and the Olympic Games were held every 4 years and brought together competitors from all over the Greek world. Victors were celebrated as heroes, and their triumphs were seen as divine favor. By studying Greek athletics, we gain insights into their values, identity, and competitive spirit that all help shape Greek civilization and continue to influence sports culture today. Now, athletics in ancient Greece were more than just physical contests. They were a vital part of education and civic identity. So from a young age, boys trained in the gymnasia, or gymnasium in modern English, right? These were institutions that combined physical strength and intellectual pursuits. And this sort of holistic approach to education reflected the Greek belief that a sound body was necessary for a sound mind. Athletics also played a role in preparing young men for military service, as combat skills like running, wrestling, and javelin throwing were all crucial on the battlefield. Athletic contests were not limited to the Olympic Games, though. There were actually several other Pan-Hellenic festivals, such as the Pythian Games at Delphi, or the Isthmian Games near Corinth, or the Nemean Games, you guessed it, at Nemea. They also all featured prominent competitions. Victors were not awarded material prizes at these Pan-Hellenic Games, but rather honored with simple wreaths, symbolic of their personal glory and the honor they brought to their city-state. The emphasis on personal achievement over wealth reinforced the Greek ideal that physical and moral excellence were intertwined, shaping an athlete's reputation for generations to come. Now, of course, the Olympic Games were the most famous of all the Greek athletic festivals. Held every 4 years at the site of Olympia, they were dedicated to the god Zeus. The Olympic Games were first established in 776 BC, and they included events such as foot races, wrestling, boxing, the pankration, which is sort of like modern MMA, kind of a brutal blend of wrestling and boxing, as well as equestrian events, things like horse racing and chariot racing. Each competition tested an athlete's strength, endurance, and strategy, reflecting both physical skill and mental fortitude. Now, participation at the Olympic Games was limited to free Greek men, with athletes representing their home city-states in a spirit of friendly but fierce competition. Olympia's sacred nature meant that a truce was declared before each festival, ensuring safe travel for competitors and spectators alike. Victors' names were recorded, their images sculpted, and their feats immortalized in poetry and history. And so the Olympic Games, they were more than just athletic contests, right? They were a celebration of Greek identity, the divine favor of Zeus, and the pursuit of human excellence. Now, while Greek athletics were largely male-dominated, women also participated in athletic competitions, albeit in a more kind of restricted setting. So the Heraion Games, held at Olympia in honor of Hera, allowed women to compete in foot races, demonstrating their athletic prowess was not solely kind of a male domain. However, women were generally excluded from the male competitions, both as participants and as spectators, especially at Olympia. As a matter of fact, if you were a married woman and got caught sneaking in to just spectate the games, your punishment was to be thrown off a cliff. Really quite brutal. Now, despite these limitations, physical activity was valued in certain Greek city-states, particularly in Sparta, for women. And there, women trained in running and strength exercises so that they could produce strong offspring. At Olympia, priestesses of Demeter were among the few women who were actually permitted to witness the Olympic Games. The exclusion of women from mainstream athletics highlights the kind of broader gender roles in Greek society, where physical excellence was associated primarily with masculinity and with civic duty. Now, ancient Greek athletics left an enduring legacy that continues to shape modern sports. The revival of the Olympic Games in 1896 drew directly from Greek traditions, right? Celebrating ideals of competition and fair play and international unity. And many modern sporting events, such as the marathon and pentathlon, trace their way back to the ancient Greek world. And while the pentathlon was part of the Olympics, the marathon, that actually derives from something other than Greek athletics. It actually derives from warfare, where the Athenians defeated the Persians at the Battle of Marathon, and one of their people, a guy by the name of Pheidippides, had to run all the way back to Athens to announce the victory. It took about 26.2 miles. Now, beyond the Olympics, the Greek concept of arete, right, excellence achieved through physical and moral discipline, continues to inspire contemporary ideas about athleticism and personal achievement. Greek athletics also emphasize the importance of sportsmanship and honor, values that remain central to athletic competition today. And so by studying Greek athletics, we not only learn about ancient competitions, but we can really gain a deeper appreciation for how physical excellence, civic identity, and religious devotion were deeply connected in Greek society.